900 million people in China live in poverty, with small vendors and migrant workers struggling to survive. Now unemployed, the two of us have no income and are living off our savings. Auntie calls work a way to make a living. For the livelihood of her family and her children's education, she gets up at 4 o'clock to come here and wait for work. She has no education, she is already old, and all she can sell is her physical strength. At 5:18, more and more people came, but the breakfast stall had no business. Eating 2 yuan steamed buns and square cakes was the best choice I saw, but I was reluctant to eat them. I have been looking for a job for more than 2 months, and there has been no significant progress. During this period, I was very careful with my money. I was afraid that the money in my hand would go to waste. The roof is gone, and there is no money to buy food. I have never been like this before. It is now December 10th, and the salary for October has not been paid yet. 2 months' salary remains unpaid. I have been in a meeting all day, from 9 a.m. until now, and I am still working hard. Basically, I am working at my own expense now. I didn't make any money. I didn't make any money last year, and I didn't make any money this year. My wish is to solve the problem of food and clothing. China's economy is in recession, and more people are living in increasingly difficult conditions. In order to survive, migrant workers go out to find work at 4 a.m. The prosperity of the city has nothing to do with them. They just tightly surround the small vans, hoping to squeeze into one and be taken to a way to make a living. There are also small vendors in the city who are struggling to survive. What do I earn? I can only make ends meet. I am just living my life. We can't live without work. If workers have work to do, they can consume, and we can still survive. If there is no work, we can't survive. Even people with higher education have been laid off and are facing hardships. The 35-year-old woman couldn't escape the curse, was laid off, and couldn't find a job. 2 days ago, I saw a message about part-time jobs in the group, but the phone was always busy. Many people rushed to get part-time jobs, but in the end, I didn't even get one. I wish I could stretch $1 into $10 every day, and I never spend on anything I can avoid. I try to spend money on my children. I never thought that one day I would live like this. Many bosses who were once rich and enviable are now struggling to make ends meet. Li Shi, Dean of the Institute of Sharing and Development at Zhejiang University, recently accepted an exclusive interview with the mainland media, Economic Observer, and said that, according to their estimates, the population that does not meet the middle income standard currently accounts for 65% of the total population. That is, there are about 900 million low-income people. Moreover, the income gap among these 900 million people is large, with some groups' incomes close to the middle income level, while others are in a state of relative poverty. So what exactly is the middle income standard he mentioned? Li Shi said in an interview with mainland media last year, according to absolute standards, based on our measurements, the size of our middle income group in 2022 will probably reach about 460 million people. On average, an income of about 3,000 yuan per month can basically meet the standard of the middle income group. A blogger disclosed a set of data on Chinese income compiled by China International Capital Corporation Limited, which is even more shocking. CICC data divides the monthly income of China's 1.4 billion people into 11 levels. The first level is people with a monthly income of 0. There are 5.46 million people in the country, mainly the elderly and children. The second level is people with a monthly income of 0 to 500. There are 215 million people, accounting for 1/7 of the total population. The third level, comprising people with a monthly income of 500 to 800, includes 202 million people. Level 4 consists of people with a monthly income of 800 to 1,000, with 124 million people. Most people's pensions are at this level. The total number of people in the above 4 levels adds up to 546 million, confirming previous official data that 600 million people have a monthly income of less than 1,000 yuan. The fifth level consists of people with a monthly income of 1,000 to 1,500. This group comprises 243 million people, making it the largest proportion of the population, most of whom are individuals who have just entered society. Their monthly income is basically at this level. Level 6 includes people with a monthly income of $1,500 to $2,000, totaling 172 million people. Level 7 includes individuals whose monthly income is $2,000 to $3,000, with 203 million people. It can be said that this level represents the lowest wage threshold at present. According to this data, people with monthly incomes below 3,000 yuan number 1.164 billion. Li Shi pointed out that even those who reach the so-called middle-income group standard may still face hardships. I feel like I can't live anymore. I am in the 4th or 5th county-level city. The salary of just over 3,000 yuan was paid on the 1st of this month. Now, I have more than 1,000 yuan left. The rent, water, electricity, and miscellaneous expenses add up to more than 700 yuan. I usually work outside and hardly stay home all day. What about me? I basically don't eat in the morning. A bowl of ramen for lunch costs 12 yuan per serving. Thinking of having a rice bowl? The minimum is 15 yuan. I don't dare to order expensive food. After work in the evening, I think of eating some instant noodles, which cost at least 5 yuan. I also thought about cooking for myself, but after calculating, it's more expensive to cook at home. You said I now earn 3,000 to 4,000 yuan a month, but prices are rising fast. Even a cup of better milk tea costs more than 20 yuan. It's more than enough for me to eat for a day. Just in case a friend has a birthday party or something, 1 month ends up being the same as usual. He wants to make some extra money, so after work, he rides his electric bike to deliver goods. 2 days ago, he accidentally collapsed a customer's cake and lost 135 yuan. You can't say I don't work hard, right? I have to work 2 jobs a day. What do you think you can do to make money now? It's too difficult. My husband's salary was cut again. I didn't expect 2024 to end this way. Such bad news at the year's end, catching people off guard. My husband works at a large foreign-funded enterprise and experienced 2 pay cuts this year. The first was an indirect salary cut of 10%, with no overtime pay but mandatory overtime work. I gritted my teeth and endured for half a year. The second cut was even larger, directly reducing his salary by 20%. Our family of 4 rents a house in Shenzhen. I stay at home and take care of the children full-time. The entire family depends on my husband's salary alone. We have to pay back the mortgage in our hometown, pay rent in Shenzhen, and raise 2 sons. The second child will start kindergarten soon, costing another 20,000 yuan in annual tuition. After drifting for more than 10 years, it's really hard in middle age. Anyway, with his current salary level, supporting a family will be difficult in the future. There's no other way but to struggle for a few months and wait until after the new year to make new plans. Adults collapse in an instant. Think about this year. I have been working outside for a whole year, and in the end, I saved just over 4,000 yuan. There's hardly anything left after a year of hard work. It's so frustrating. For those who are unemployed or even in debt, the pressure is even more unimaginable. Around 7:30 in the morning, I saw many people gathered outside the park gate. Then I understood it was a neighbor in the community. Someone had an accident. Taking things too hard, they jumped from the 12th floor. It all ended like this. According to neighbors in the group, the person was a 35-year-old middle-aged man who used to be a salesperson in a supermarket. Later, due to performance issues, he was laid off. He set up a stall and worked as a security guard, but things were always unsatisfactory. Now, he wanted to return to his hometown and sell his house because he couldn't afford the mortgage anymore. His house, worth nearly 2 million yuan when purchased, had a loan close to 1 million. He worked hard to sell the house since the second half of this year, but didn't expect the house to remain unsold. House prices are still falling daily. The real estate agent's offer was around 800,000 yuan, a loss of more than 1 million yuan on a house originally worth 2 million yuan. Too many people are unemployed this year. The number of people receiving unemployment benefits is slowly rising. By the end of September, the nationwide number of people receiving unemployment benefits had already exceeded the total for all of 2023. Based on official announcements from past years, the number of people receiving unemployment benefits has steadily increased. A reasonable calculation shows that this year, the number of people receiving unemployment benefits should reach tens of millions, more than double that of 2019. When ordinary people are struggling to survive, some CCP officials seem to be having a hard time too. Independent commentator Kai Shenkun expressed on the overseas social platform X that Yu Jianhua, a member of the Central Committee of the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China and director of the General Administration of Customs, was found dead in his office last night. Yu Jianhua, a senior international business official, had long worked in the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation and the Ministry of Commerce. Vice ministerial remuneration was resolved in 2013. In January 2021, Yu Jianhua was appointed Deputy Secretary of the Party Leadership Group of the Ministry of Commerce of the Communist Party of China, as well as an international trade negotiator, ministerial level, and deputy minister. In April 2022, he became Secretary of the Party Committee of the General Administration of Customs of the Communist Party of China, and in May 2022, he took on the role of Director General and Party Committee Secretary of the General Administration of Customs. According to analysis by Kai Shenkun, Yu Jianhua was a ministerial-level official personally selected by Xi Jinping's personnel team after the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. Having served in customs for just over 2 years, any investigation into his political background or corruption issues would likely point to his time in the Ministry of Commerce. However, in that ministry, he primarily acted as a business judgment expert with very limited actual power. On Monday, officials from the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection reportedly spoke with him, and shortly after, he died. This makes the public feel suspicious. On the evening of December 11th, the official website of the General Administration of Customs announced that Yu Jianhua had died of a sudden illness on December 10th, despite rescue efforts. He was 63 years old. However, suspicions were raised when the Chinese media outlet Caixin.com published a related report, which was quickly removed and resulted in a 404 error. This fueled speculation about the true circumstances of his death. This is China Undercover. If you like our show, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you next time.